to all you Geminis. Hello and welcome to this forecast, the horoscope for the month of March 2013 for you Geminis. What is going on during the month of March? Now let's see, the month of March is very much divided into two pieces. There is the first part of the month that is very feminine energy, and then there's the second part of the month is very active masculine energy. So let's have a look first of all what is happening during the first 2 weeks of the month. It's a bit of a continuation of what was going on in February. There is a whole stellium going on in Pisces, and for you Geminis that is the 10th house. House of your social status, the house of your work, the house of how other people see you into this world, and the house of your mum, the house of mother, the house of that parent. But what is really happening is that even on the 11th of the month there is a new moon in that area of life. And I think they're going to be 7 planets out of 10. 7 planets in that 10th house of yours. Now, what does that mean? It means on a collective level that the sky is like, you know, it's like it's pointing to something. It's pointing on a collective level that we could do a bit better with what Pisces is all about, and the good stuff, of course. So a bit more compassion, not pity, but compassion. For you, it's the 10th house that you have to keep in mind. So work and your social status. Another thing is unconditionality. Unconditionality in relationships. It's a time also for forgiveness. It's a time for what else? For trusting the feelings. It's the time for not being too much living into the head. Of course, being grounded, but not much. Rather rely on the feelings and what you feel inside than relying on the mind. Because there is a lot of confusion going on because all of those Pisces planets, especially with Neptune in there, and especially with Mercury going retrograde in there, which is your ruler. So your ruler actually is not in the best state. It's in its detriment in Pisces, and it's going retrograde. Does it mean to say that it is bad? No. It says that is what it has to be that way. And it surely shows that Geminis, who are generally, not all of them, but generally very much in the head, have to put this a bit aside and have to try to see things in another way and try to trust their feelings during this month of March, especially at the beginning. I have made a video of Neptune transit to the mutable signs, so that's also about Gemini. I speak a bit about that, so if you are interested in this, just check it out, and could be useful or interesting for you. Because Geminis are people who are who are curious and really want to know the truth, and now, and not waiting and trusting until something happens. So it's a squaring up to your sign, Pisces. The sign Pisces squares up to Gemini. That's why it's not always easy for a Gemini to get along with all that Pisces energy. But if you are aware of it, and if of course you stay the Gemini, you are a Gemini, so you stay as you are, but you simply broaden yourself even a bit more, and that you will feel way more fulfilled if you do that. And all this energy has to do with your work. So it could be that you are forced to be more of what I just talked about, that Pisces energy. Or it simply could be that you want to do a bit more of that into your work, especially with Neptune there. Could also mean that you don't really know where you're heading at when it comes to work. And the best thing to cope with that is to allow that, and to not really want to search for the reason after that, because with the Mercury in Pisces is about, so Mercury is about your mind and your understanding, and Pisces is feeling and trusting, so the understanding should come from the feeling and not so much coming from the mind. So that's the best thing that you can do as a Gemini at the moment, if you are feeling this is really going a bit difficult for you. So that's the best thing to cope with. And Mercury is going direct again, as from the 17th. And then things will start to clear up again for you, considering your where you want to go in life, your path in life, not your path, but really what you want to do, what you want other people to see you. You know, maybe you're not having a job, and maybe you're a housewife, and you want to really change that, how you do it. You really want to shift your focus or something. So these are all the questions that you can ask yourself. Now after that, so after that new beginning in that house, because you have a new moon there on the 11th in Pisces, after that there will be a shift to the 11th house and also the 5th house, those two opposites. And this is more of an active energy, and it's in Aries. That suits you very well as a Gemini. So the second part of the month, although this is in general more restless energy, you can cope better with that, or easier. So Mars is going to enter the 11th house in Aries in its own sign, so it can do a lot of work. If you have a company of your own, you can do a lot to gain money, or work hard to gain money. It can also have to do with your new intentions and new views that you're having, new plans on the long term. It also has to do with friends. Maybe new friends are coming in, or maybe you want to align with people who are very like-minded in associations, organizations, or whatever, and taking your role in it. With Mars in there, also Venus and the Sun are going to join that 11th house, and which is now it's getting really interesting, because on the background there's Pluto-Uranus, of course. Pluto-Uranus is in a square in the heavens for the whole year, and Pluto is in Capricorn and Uranus is in Aries, in that 11th house, sorry, that I just talked about. So things are really fresh when it comes to that 11th house stuff that I just talked about. And Pluto is in the 8th house. So what does it all mean? It means that when a faster planet like Mars, like Venus and the Sun are going to enter Aries, it's going to trigger around 8 degrees, 7, 8, 9 degrees. It's going to trigger the Pluto-Uranus square. So that square is going to come to the surface again. That square, that tension, that theme of wanting to get away from the old and welcome the new. So everything that is not suiting you anymore, considering these houses, this 11th house, but also considering the 8th house. And the 8th house is a very deep house, and it's a house of intimacy. It's a house of financial situation or finances of other people. It's also the house of fears. It's the house of and with Pluto in there, you're really trying to master that. You know, that's on the background. But when these faster planets are triggering it, it's coming to the foreground again. So it and especially with Mars in there, with Mars-Uranus, something suddenly can happen, and it is around the 23rd. And this energy stays until the end of the month. So around the 23rd, you can expect that something happens that really triggers fears of yours, but in a good way. I mean, you're going to master them, you're going to face them. And of course, it could be anything. These are general horoscopes, but it's a time to do that. It's a really good time to do that. And even when there are imaginative fears, because the 8th house, it could be a fear that other people say, why are you fearing that? But it's good to acknowledge that, and it's good to work with that. So this is going to be highlighted again around that time. And it's a culmination. Why? Because there's also a full moon involved. There is a full moon in Libra in your 5th house, opposing what is going on in your 11th house. That 11th house of aspirations, of new wishes, a new dream, new aspirations, new wishes that you want to accomplish. That full moon is a very strong and interesting special full moon. Why? Because it's around the 27th, did I say that? And it's also conjuncting a fixed star. Now fixed stars, I only use them in horary charts, and I only use them, a couple of 5, 6 to 6 fixed stars, and only when they are conjuncting a certain point. And now on 6 to 7 degrees of Libra, where the full moon is, there is a fixed star called Vindhya Matrix. And that fixed star is about separation. You can say, huh? Separation, that's terrible. No, it fits in very well with this Pluto-Uranus square. It fits in about, you're going to leave something behind that has bothered you for a long time, so you can step into the new. It has to do with 5th house and 11th house, and these are nice houses. So you're not a cardinal sign. For the cardinal signs, it's tougher. For the Aries and the Capricorn and the Libra and the Cancerians. But for you, it's these houses that are activated. If you are single, this could be that you fall in love, with a friend maybe. And this is all very challenging with Pluto in the 8th house. That's also about intimacy, by the way. But it can really drag you into or guide you into a new step into your life. If you are in a relationship, something can happen that comes to a fruition when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to your kids, or when it comes to your creativity, that you find new wishes together to get those new wishes and new dreams together along the path that you're taking in your life, and you feel very much new and fresh by that. That's also this energy. So for Geminis, a very full month of a lot happening there, and a lot that you can accomplish. Thank you very much, you Geminis, for watching. Wish you all the best, and see you next month. Bye bye.